GangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
The WBC ordered 2 mandatories for him. Ryan Garcia and Fortuna. Those are his mandatories.
But the Garcia takes precedent over the Fortuna mandatory.
Yeah, but no. So you may as well just go into the damn poll topic right now.
Yeah, so that's actually a good segue. So P,
the court of public opinion weighs way more than some bullshit mandatory, explanation.
I mean, it is what it is. All I know is in one of our latest polls, because we always got fire polls. We got polls on polls on polls.
Hey.
But in one of our latest polls this Saturday, we asked, who would you rather see Ryan Garcia fight? Would you like to see him fight? Would you rather see him fight Tank, or would you rather see him fight Haney? And there were 51 votes. And of those 51 votes, 63% said we want Tank.
Ooh.
So, yep, there's your answer.
Yes. Yeah.
And it sounded like 90% in that arena.
I'm saying.
So hold on. Okay, so 63% of Ring Gang audience are the Twitter world, and 95% of the arena. So yeah, what about mandatories again? Dude, I think the people spoke.
Now, the only thing with the Tank fight, obviously, Tank is managed with Mayweather. Yes, Tank is with Mayweather Promotions, and he's controlled by Floyd. Now, Floyd would have to sign off on this fight.
Is he signed to Floyd or controlled by Floyd?
Probably a little
There's
bit of
a difference.
Probably both.
I mean, I thought he's his own man.
A lot of people say they're the old man, but Floyd has to sign off on his fights.
I mean, this is the thing, man. Look, the fight is red hot right now. I honestly think they should make it for this year, yo. Fuck a Haney fight, make Tank and Ryan Garcia. Haney fights somebody else and he get the winner.
I mean, we all know this, but we all know that Garcia is a Golden Boy fighter, and we know Tank is a Floyd fighter, which means Oscar.
That money make it work, man. Honestly, Ryan Garcia Tank is like the biggest fight in boxing behind Joshua Fury.
Yeah.
And yes, no one can Spence fucking Crawford. That's just like yesterday's news now.
Yeah, and that could be its own conversation about how those two are killing the impact of the fight. Killing the actual impact. Because now younger lightweights have probably stolen their thunder. Because now that people used to, when they talk about Spence and Crawford, it's more. I think everyone's just frustrated and tired of it because it hasn't gone anywhere.
And see, everybody's just took like risks. So it's not out of the realm of the possibility where you're like, okay.
I mean, it's even for the fact that even Haney, even people want Haney to fight has more attention than Spence Crawford at this particular point. It's just like
that is true.
Yeah, so Spence Crawford. I mean, obviously that fight will probably end up like Superman and Kovalev. Fight that should have happened but didn't happen, and the way we're going right now. But I mean, I agree with you. Like that fight should happen, but obviously we have to keep it real too.
Yeah, look, I want to start getting good fights in people's prime when they're young, and none of this waiting for the end of the year, waiting for the end of their career to have a great fight.
Yeah, and the funny thing is too, there's also some other people that says like, oh no, it's just too early. Wait till they go to like 147. I'm like, why? Why do they need to go up 2 divisions when they're clearly all in the same division right now at the same level?
Yo, that's casual talk.
Yeah, it's like, no.
Because 147 is like the division that people correlate with big fights for some reason.
Yeah, like 147. No, nothing's happening at 147. So why fucking wait? Like, I mean, I mean, yeah, 135 is where it's at right now. 135 is a popular division. You don't need to go to a division that that doesn't even have shit together to fight. Like, why? Like, wait 3 to 5 years? Like, nah, that's bullshit. You know, that's some pure bullshit. You know, and Joshua again. You know, WBC enforcing more mandatories for Haney this year than they did for Wilder during his entire reign. Facts.
Facts.
That's facts. That's real talk.
Super facts.
Yeah, you know, but yeah, like I mean, we all like honestly.
I ain't gonna lie, cause Wilder ducked the fuck out of Dylan White, man.
Oh yeah, he did. You know,
hard.
Hard. You know, because Wilder knew that he'd have to worry about a punch, in his repertoire. You know, and although he could probably ice him with one punch, White can do the same to him. So yeah, that's. You know,
that was too much risk, and White wasn't 55 years old like Luis Ortiz.
Yeah, exactly. Dude was tested. Dude had opponents on his resume. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's like he had nothing. You know, and Wilder, of course, eventually, what goes around comes around, and eventually caught up to him. But yeah, Haney, like honestly, 135, like honestly. If you want to have your 4 kings, people are trying to say this is the new 4 kings. I'm like, nah, it's not the 4 kings yet. Because them 4 kings, they all fought each other. They all have their victories over Hall of Fame fighters and whatnot, even among each other. So you can't call it that until they all get in the mix. And yeah, I mean, Tank is buzzing right now. Right now, Tank. I mean, we don't know what Tank's plans are. I mean, Tank right now is just he's chilling right now. I mean. The last thing I saw, he was getting picked up like a baby by Puffy, and he had to check him on that. This is when I was reading one of them T websites and I happened to see that bullshit.
Hold on, wait. You said Puff Daddy picked him up?
Yeah, they were at some party and Puff Daddy, trying to pick him up, gave him a hug and picked him off his feet like he was a little dude, which he is. And then Puff and Tech had to shut that shit down a little bit. It's like, nah, just dap me, bruh. Don't be doing all that.
Did he act like he was a Care Bear?
But yeah, Tank has a juice right now. So is Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez has a super juice. He lets people know pretty much on a daily basis that he's that dude. Ryan Garcia, obviously, but Ryan Garcia takes probably the one that has out of all the permutations and whatnot you want to put.
Let me see Devin Haney and Chris Colbert.
But they're not in the same division, though. I mean, Colbert will have. No, Colbert is 130.
Man, that's close enough. Move up, get a title shot.
I'll just say Tank and Chris Colbert is actually a good fight, but
that's a good one too. But we want Ryan Garcia now.
Yeah, so I mean, right now, so we have the WBC saying, "Oh, yeah, we want Garcia and Haney," and then we have the crowd says, "Oh, we want Tank versus Garcia," because Tank Garcia right now, because there's some tweets right now with the engagement, like Garcia and Campbell right now has gotten more engagement on social media wise than Tank and LSC did, like videos and shit like that right now, which is crazy. Actually, it's probably one of the few things the Zone actually does super right is they update the fuck out of their YouTube channel quick. So all that shit gets shared and, so
But Ryan Garcia, he's more popular than Tank though, so.
Yeah, there's no question. Tank is buzzing because of the knockout and he has his own buzz. Garcia is because, Tank doesn't do the social media like that. Honestly, if he did, he would probably be buzzing like Ryan Garcia.
But his name stays out there enough on certain little blogs and shit, and he gets into fuckery things, so he got that.
Yeah, basically, when you're linked to both Broner and Floyd, and you get into fuckery shit, you're like, you don't need to do that extra social media shit. Social media will find him.
Yeah, so it comes down to the performances, and a lot of times he stayed more active than Ryan Garcia. So his name was kind of always out there anyway because the training and all that shit. So, But Ryan Garcia, I think is naturally more popular. He got all the YouTube connections and
yeah.
But
I think the YouTubers, the MMA people, Other like he has the Canelo connection.
Yeah.
I mean, if Ryan Garcia learned how to speak Spanish, he'd be on his way.
How many pay-per-views you think that should have sold?
For Tank
and Ryan Garcia.
I mean, it would be the first pay-per-view that I could see it breaking 1 million easy. You know, at least probably 1.5 million or some shit.
I don't know about 1 million, but I would say probably 600,000 to 700,000.
You crazy? That's just $1 million easily.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
600 to 7,000 when you
honestly
700,000.
Yo, explain.
I don't know. It's just hard. You know how hard it is to break a million in fucking in sales, like in pay-per-view buys. That's really hard. 700,000 is really good in this age of fucking pay-per-view shit.
I mean, we had Tyson and Jones do it, and they were sparring and shit. They were exhibition.
But that's Tyson and Jones. Like you know who you just said Tyson and Jones. Like I mean, Tank and Garcia are big names, but they're not that big.
Nah, they're big names.
But at least though. Honestly, and we would need. Honestly, I see a minimum because I know boxing. I know there are plenty of boxers. I mean, we've all seen the impact. Less like boxing is dead. Like boxing doesn't have anyone. Like these two are where they are now, where they're both buzzing. People want to see that shit. Like people are like, if
the fight gets made this year, it's doing $1 million easily.
Exactly, it will.
There's no way it's gonna get any bigger unless one of them beats like a Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson. And right. I don't think no one's gonna risk it taking that type of fight. That's why I feel like all those other guys need to fight better opponents to raise their stature.
Right. Well, I mean, right now, at this point, right now, I think Haney is the biggest lightweight right now that's left out. I mean, Lomachenko has his fights. Teofimo Lopez has the juice. And Garcia and Tank, they got their juice. I think Haney.
He's the odd man out. We don't want him to be the Mike McCullum of this era. I mean,
no, hell no, we don't. But yeah, it's just more or less like he's gonna have to face someone. And like I said, there are people like he could face fucking Rolly and take his zero and embarrass the whole floor. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's been around that dude. You have your Isaac Cruz. You have your well, I would say Verdeo, but Verdeo's kind of has to be rebuilt right now. You have Linares, like you just mentioned before. Lightweight. Lightweight has fighters there. Like he doesn't lack for any fight. But yeah, but this time around, he just like we talked about with Shakur, is like, and Haney is capable of this. He has to put the dude away. Like Haney had a KO of the year in 2019. He's capable of putting away guys.
Yeah.
But I think this time, it's not just the boxing was good. But
the Gamboa fight was a setback, to be honest.
Yeah, like if you put away Gamboa, even though I didn't like the fight, I didn't want the fight either. I thought
that's what I'm saying. The fight should have never happened.
That should have just been Tank doing that.
You never want to have a washed fighter you got to compare with.
Yeah, no, yeah, and
damn, I guess I'm really not as on. I mean, I didn't like the Gamboa fight, but I didn't fucking think his stock went down from that shit. Like, but I mean,
he got booed when his name was brought up, bruh. His stock went down.
I guess. I don't look at it that way, but that's just me. I'm just giving my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
does he have the juice?
Yeah, I think most of us expected him to actually stop Gamboa because Gamboa is long in the tooth or whatever.
I'm not saying he's pillow fist. It's just I don't know what
he's definitely not pillow fist. I'm tired of people saying that shit.
Yeah. Devin Haney is not pillow fisted at all. Like,
I guess maybe this is my bias coming in about how we say, especially with knockouts or getting blanked. That kind of thing. I guess that's my bias coming in because we've seen Gamboa get knocked out enough times already. We haven't seen him get outboxed like that. Even
because people knock him out. The fuck? Come on.
Because Gamboa is too good of a boxer to outbox. You don't outbox him. You beat him up and try to stop him. Nobody's outboxed Haney. Gamboa like Haney has. Even when Tank beat him up, he didn't.
No, because they knock him out. You hear yourself, right? That's like saying, "Yo, man, no one ever tongue kissed that broad as good as Like, come on, you hear yourself.
That shit is wild, though.
No one ever bucks. Like, who cares if you bucks up Gamboa like that if you're not stopping him? That's the whole point.
No, it matters to me, especially for a guy like Gamboa, who's an Olympic gold medalist, who is a very, very good boxer. It's hard to outbox guys like that.
Washed Olympic gold medalist. That Tank, who was out of shape and looked bad, knocked down several times and stopped.
Mercy stoppage, by the way.
Stop, nonetheless.
Yes, of course, but Gamboa has a bad chin, so all those guys are gonna stop him. I guarantee you, if they couldn't stop him, they would look bad against him. Devin Haney outboxed him. Like, it's different. It's
That's
different.
usually what happens if you don't stop old Gamboa. You look bad against him.
No,
Devin
I'm
Haney
saying
didn't stop old Gamboa.
No, I'm saying the other guys. Like,
Yeah, but we're talking about Haney now. Haney didn't stop him.
I'm giving another side. I'm giving a balance to the he didn't knock him out, so the sky is falling. But he just beat him in another way that we haven't seen somebody beat Gamboa. Which is cool.
See, this is the thing. That is only good when you're talking about guys in their prime are still serviceable. That logic you're using doesn't work for washed fighters. So just like Billy Joe looked great against Martin Murray, it was still fucking Martin Murray in 2010. I'm sorry, 2020.
Yeah, no, I mean,
so it's the same thing. So you're not a Saunders fan, but that's the same type of fucking performance.
Yeah, and I just wish that he didn't fight Gamboa.
Are you gonna say Saunders is on the top of the world now? Like he'll beat Canelo off for that?
I didn't say all that now.
Okay, and then so you can't be upset with we not thinking of Haney for saying that shit either.
But nobody put Billy Joe's stock down after that. It's still the same. It's still ho hum. Fuck.
Yeah, because he don't have no fucking Tank or no damn Ryan Garcia in his division.
That's also true.
That's why.
No, but he has a Canelo in his division, and
Canelo who just got hot again.
He has a Canelo in his division, a Plant in his division, a Benavidez in his
Plant
division.
that no one's been caring about.
Nobody cares about him. That's why everybody wants Canelo to fight him. Like
everybody or PBC fanboys.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Just like, hold on, they're just like the same small group of fans that wanted to see Andre Ward and Golovkin. The same 500 people, right?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see Plant Canelo too, but I'm not. If that fight doesn't happen, I'm not gonna fucking die. Like,
yeah, same here. Like Plant, I mean, Plant hasn't necessarily light the world up like lately anyway. So it's just like, look.
Exactly, and that's my whole point. Like 168 even moving like that. Should more and more shit popping in fucking lightweight right now.
Yeah, so
we don't even get Nakatani Verdejo level fights at fucking 168.
Hell, I can't. Yeah, enjoyable 168 fights is just like it's like. I mean, don't we enjoyable 168 fights? Actually, no. There haven't been really any really in that division that.
It was I reckon George Groves, Caleb Smith.
Yeah, it's probably the last one I enjoyed. But other than that, yeah, 168 is. Yeah, it's not moving like 130. It's not moving like 130. 135 is moving. and we want to make sure it continues to move.
So if Haney's not buzzing in a division that's moving, whose fault is it really?
I still want Haney to get a fight.
It's Haney's fault that that Bob Arum petitioned to get Lomachenko the franchise belt instead of actually fighting his mandatory in Devin Haney. Then this would make a whole lot more sense if Haney actually got that fight. But because they want to fucking brag about freezing him out, he didn't get that fight, and now his whole directory changed.
But hold on, that fight. See, this is the thing y'all forgetting. The Lomachenko Teofimo Lopez fight was always, the trajectory for that was always set in motion. That was always going to happen. That was always going to be the big priority fight. And the way Lopez moved and he orchestrated shit and all the calling out and the performances and the opponent selection.
Okay, that's true. But how is that like mute? That's separate from Haney. I don't see how they're mutually.
No. I'm gonna get to that.
Okay, sorry, my bad. I cut you off. My bad.
Now, the thing is, the way that affects Haney is Haney doesn't have any type of path comparable to that. And then you got Lomachenko here, who's, he's winning titles, unifying, and then he has another guy who has a bigger name than Devin Haney. And yes, Teofimo Lopez was buzzing way more than Haney during this whole time. And now we're getting talks about a potential fight with those two. This whole time, Haney is just being Haney. I can't see. Then the whole shit with the belt happened, and
mind you, want to talk about Teofimo? The fact is, Teofimo, whether it be his choice or Bob Arum's choice, they took him away from the WBC route so that they could avoid Haney and go the path of least resistance. Like all these stuff that's
what was that least resistance?
Going through to get the IBF belt.
Yeah. What was that least resistance?
What do you mean? Who he fought?
Yeah.
Nakatani and then Komek.
Two guys that are way better than anybody Haney fought. My point exactly. Get what I'm saying? Like Pat, do you get what I'm saying, right? No matter how you cross it, Lopez always ended up doing more than Haney. Y'all trying to give Haney fight this damn clout off a technicality, but at the end of the day, everybody has always done more.
Yeah, in my case, like I said, I still want Haney. Haney is a champion. Like, there shouldn't be a reason that people are refusing title shots.
Yeah, all I'm saying is
there shouldn't be, but
by hook or crook, whoever way you want to.
If there's a bigger fight that he could get instead, of course. If the Tank fight don't fall through, if the Tank fight don't happen, then yeah, of course, Ryan Garcia, Haney. But until that happen, if that fight don't happen next, then I don't think people should even talk shit yet. Cause then you can say, okay, it's a duck, or he ain't ready for Haney. But at least let the Tank fight fall through. But in the meantime, Haney need to be damn fighting somebody worth a damn. Can we all agree on that?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree with that.
Agree. I don't want to see him fighting scraps, but
yeah, because Haney is too much of a talent right now, and I said too, it's like even just after the aftermath of this Ryan Garcia Camo fight, I was like, even if he faces Haney next, I think Haney would beat him anyways, because Garcia has too many uh-ohs in his boxing, for me to think that he won't get picked apart.
Yeah, but that fight doesn't do a mill pay-per-view.
Well,
I know it will be the zone and all that shit, but it's not going to make the impact as a Tank fight.
Well, what the zone has been fooling around with is by doing the shoulder pay-per-view option. Like, obviously if you're like me, you have like you pay for the service, you're not paying no damn pay-per-view price, but then for people who don't have the zone, they say like if you buy the pay-per-view, you get 4 months free of the zone.
Which is a good look. That's smart. But even then, that's not a pay-per-view fight.
It is
a pay-per-view, but it's not a mill. That's your 600,000, 700,000.
Yeah, either way, I would think both. All pretty much any combination of fights would do business, but yeah, Tank and Garcia, we all agree on would do the most business for sure. Out of every combination of lightweights today. Yeah. Maybe a Teofimo Tank will probably do some numbers too.
Hell yeah, that definitely does numbers. I think any combination of that 3 does numbers.
Right.
Shit. Haney need to focus on shit. He need to damn be calling out Lomachenko too. Because I think that's one fight. If Lomachenko could beat Haney, he throws himself right back in the mix. Because Lomachenko can't fight no scrub and get back there.
Yeah,
Lomachenko's busy calling out Tank or Teofimo for a rematch.
Oh, because he wants the bigger. Oh, it comes back to he wants the bigger names.
Yeah, but Lomachenko didn't put a rematch clause in his contract, so.
Oh wow, that's Lomachenko's fault. So
yeah, he gambled on that one. He lost.
He's bad.
But yeah, 135 is popping, man. So basically, we want to see it now than later because we don't want the fights that could happen. We want them to happen now before A, they outgrow the division, or B, one of them gets a silly loss like put on their record. That's a bullshit. So yeah, let's go to our last and post topic. P.